Hi, everybody. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. I'm Michelle Thomas, and I'm really excited to be sharing this particular topic with you all. So today we are talking all about power, choices, and how they all relate to each other. Because when you can start stepping fully into your power, then you can start really claiming your life, claiming the authority that you have over your life, and really start making the choices that are right for you, based on the way that you want to go, the direction that you're trying to go. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today during today's Transformation Tuesday. So first of all, I want to talk about power, right? So power lives in your solar plexus, right? And it's your power center is right above your navel. And this solar plexus is responsible for not only power, but confidence. And a lot of anxiety lives here. And do you want to know the number one reason why we sometimes have anxiety? It's because we feel powerless. We've given our choices away. We've given our power away. And we do that in a lot of different ways in our lives, especially those of us who are mothers and wives, and we have choices that we can't make based on our the work that we do. So because sometimes we have to do things that we don't really want to do, but our job says that we have to go and do it, or because we're a mother, we have to go and do it. But when we start stepping more fully and making choices that are more in aligned with what we want to do, then that slowly builds up and creates this beautiful space to allow yourself to really step into being the CEO of your life, that leadership role that you all really we need and we desire. And so often we end up not doing it because of whatever reason, right? So today, that's what I really want to talk about is power and choices. And so at the end, we're going to do a little bit of we're going to call back our power, but I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of an exercise to do to try and make better choices, we'll say. So how does that all relate? So every single day, you have the opportunity to make choices that are right for you, that are in alignment with the direction that you want to go in, right? And then every single day, you make choices that are not in alignment, right? Or you give your power away, right? Whenever you give a choice away, right? Even the most minute choices, right? So if someone says, hey, where you want to go to dinner tonight? And you go, I don't care, you pick. You gave that choice away, right? So do not get unhappy when someone goes, well, let's go for Mexican food. And you're like, but I don't really want Mexican food. Okay, well, you gave that choice away. You gave that power away, right? And the more choices that you give away, the more power you give away, right? And the more power you give away, the more you're left feeling out of control. That anxiety starts to build and build and build and build. And your confidence goes down and down and down. So I'm going to highly recommend that you start owning and taking charge of the choices that you make, because the choices that you make create the habits, right? And the habits that you have creates your future. I posted a nice little quote in here yesterday about that. So, right? So power, choices, and and so one of the things that I would love for you guys to do in the next, we'll say week, is we're going to do it twice, right? So the first time, I just want you to sort of sit there and understand the choices that you make. So for 1 hour, be very conscious about the choices that you're making, right? And is it coming from an ego place, right? Where you're making the choices out of fear or out of indecision? Or see, again, because you could, being indecisive and not making a choice is also a choice, right? It really is. So for an hour, just notice, like, when you're making a choice, are you making it that's for your highest and greatest good, that you're moving in the direction that you want to go in? Or are you making a choice because it's a little bit scary? It's in your comfort zone. You're just sort of sitting there living in Groundhog's Day, making the same choices over and over again and expecting a different result. And then I want you to do it again, except this time I want you to consciously choose from your highest self. Choose listening to your body, right? And you can do muscle testing to figure out, especially if you're struggling with a choice and you're like, I don't know, is this the right choice? Should I do this? Should I not do it? And one of those things that you can do is muscle testing. And an easy way to do that is to stand up and ask yourself, show me yes. And usually your body will sway forward. Or you can say, show me no. And generally your body will sway backwards. So if you're struggling with a choice, you can do this. Or you can use a pendulum. There's a lot of different ways that you can sort of help yourself and tune in to your intuitive wisdom to figure out what choice is right for you at that time. So for 1 hour, I want you to just make choices and just notice, did I make a good choice, or did I make a choice that's maybe not for my highest and greatest good? And then I want you to do again, but I want you to sit in that space and go, I'm going to make choices that are in alignment with where I want to go for 1 hour. And then I want you to expand that, right? If you do, the more you do that, the more you are conscious about the choices you are making, the better those habits will become, right? Because your brain, your beliefs, your habits, they're all choices, every single one of them. And choosing to not choose, a choice, right? Giving your choices away is a choice. So I want you to do that this week and really sit in that space for just an hour. And if you can't do it for an hour, try half an hour. But the better that you get at recognizing this is a choice. Where am I making that choice from? Am I making it from a more ego place of fear, of comfort, and not wanting to sort of feel icky, like facing that fear? Or are you coming at it from that highest perspective of, okay, you know what? I'm making this choice right now because I know it's going to change my future in whatever way you want it to go in. Because all of your choices create your reality. It creates your future. Okay? And then another thing that I do almost every single morning, and I highly recommend you do this at night too, is if you sit there, and you can do this with me right now, put your feet on the ground, right? I call back all my power and energy back into my body now. All that has been given, taken, lost, or stolen across time, space, dimensions, and lifetime. I call back all of my power and energy into my body now. And that will allow you to pull all of that back, all that you've lost, every choice that maybe you made that you gave your power away, right? Maybe you give it away at work or someone takes it from you. Oh, it's fine. Sally Sue's going to finish. She's going to work late tonight. And you're like, I didn't choose that. You're making that choice for me. How did you know I wasn't busy? But you didn't speak up and you didn't do anything about it and you didn't set a good, clear boundary. So you allowed your power to be taken from you, right? And so often of this is completely unconscious, right? So I'm not saying that like people are trying to take advantage of you. Some people are, but a lot of it is an unconscious thing. And you allow, right? How people treat you is how you allow them to treat you, right? The solar plexus is also all about boundaries. Do you have any? And if you do you just let people march all over them? So this week, for our Transformation Tuesday, we are going to reclaim our power. So I want you to focus on your choices this week. I want you to focus on them very consciously for an hour, 2 times this week. One where you're just noticing, okay, I made that choice. Was that a great choice, or was that maybe just a choice because I just didn't really want to make a choice? And then I want you to consciously sit there for an hour and make choices for that hour that are for your highest and greatest good. And I want you to see the difference. And I want you to start making good habits, right? Figuring out, what do I need to do today to create this habit? Whether that be for better health, for more focus, for more determination, whatever it is. But when you start actively and consciously making choices, it becomes embedded in your subconscious. And then you start making that a repeat thing, and it becomes a habit. So I want to know, how are you going to do that this week? If you're on the replay, let me know. And I'm going to also post a link. I have a workshop that I'm going to do in October that's all about reclaiming your power. The workshop is called Putting the She Back in Me, but it's really about reclaiming your power, understanding how to get out of overwhelm, how to get out of hyper independence and sort of pathological productivity, and to really start releasing perfectionism. So I'm going to host that in October. I'll post the link in case anybody wants to grab it. But it's going to be an amazing workshop that I'm going to do later on. But so again, this week, power, habits, choices. So what are you going to do? What choices are you going to make this week? Make good choices. And I will see you guys all next week for Transformation Tuesday.